Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Welcome to Take It from the Ironwoman. My name is Susanne Müller, your host and the Ironwoman. This podcast is about empowering yourself and others to make real changes in the world. You will hear from everyday, smart, sophisticated, hip people like you and me. Not everybody has to be an Ironwoman to impress the world. Together, we will learn from the sports and business leaders how you can become a more successful person as an entrepreneur or a leader. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Take your steps now. Take your big steps now. Join me on this journey to success. Take it from the Ironwoman. We only have special guests, and today we go to Heat, and now the name. Everybody has to say it out loud. Dziczek. And I learned a trick. Dziczek. It's not that difficult, but if you see it, it looks a little complicated, but that's all right. She and I met probably through our podcasting career. Sometimes we have meetings and we meet people and you see the name and you're like, I want to reach out to that person. It's now 5 years later that we found each other again in the Impresario workshop. Heat, just give us an intro. Where are you?
Oh, thank you. My name is Heat. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I help people have better conversations with people with cancer because one of the side effects of a cancer diagnosis is enduring what people say to you, and I would like to change that.
And what can we say and what shouldn't we say? This is so important because we all know somebody who's going through that journey. We want to be with them. Actually, this morning I was talking to somebody and I was like, what do I say? Okay, I will talk to you, so maybe you have some insights for me.
Well, unfortunately, the primary thing is there is no one-size-fits-all answer because everybody is different and has different preferences. Your relationship with each person is different. So there's something that I could say to one person that I would never say to another, and that's just because our relationships are different. The main thing to keep in mind, and this makes people bristle, but too bad, I guess, is that it's not about you. And a lot of times when people say things that don't land well, what they're trying to do, not consciously, this is not a decision, but what they're trying to do is to make themselves feel better. I'm going to say this thing, I'm going to put it out there, and it'll be helpful to you, and then I will have done my job because I helped. But it's not really helpful. Person with cancer, they have a medical team, and it's the medical team's job to fix it. That's not my job, not medical in any way. So it's my job to be emotionally supportive. Cancer is scary. Even if you have a good prognosis, cancer is scary. To be with someone and to just let them feel whatever they're feeling is a huge gift. Maybe they're scared or they're sad or they're angry, or maybe they feel fine. And you're like, oh my God, are you okay? And they're like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, no, but really, are you okay? And they don't accept that answer either, right? So it can go either way because from what I've experienced, most people are not freaking out all the time every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just okay. I'm fine. And sometimes I'm very much not okay. And so there's a lot of gray. And we desperately want a black and white answer. The only black and white that I can give you is it's not about you. Actually, that's not black and white either, because I've heard a story of a person who was trying to support a friend, and the friend had made a schedule and was telling people what day and time they should come to visit. She had assigned a time to my friend that my friend couldn't make it. And she's like, I'm sorry, I can't make that time. And she's like, what? But I have cancer and you should. There's always a line and someone is always going to cross it.
Yeah. Ooh, that's difficult.
Yes.
It's not about you, but it's not about you is the most important answer. A tip for you. It's not about you.
Yeah. Well, and we don't know what we're doing, and that's okay. And we feel some weird obligation to know what we're doing. And it's okay to ask, right? If I come to visit and I have an idea of how that visit is going to go, and it becomes very obvious that is not how this visit is going to go, it's okay for me to say, hey, I came over and this is kind of what I was expecting, but that's not working. Do you have an idea of what you need right now? Maybe they know and maybe they don't, but it's not your job to be a mind reader. If they've told you 4 times and you're just not listening to them because you don't like that answer, that's a separate thing.
No.
But you can ask.
Asking question is always a good start. What can I help you? How can I help you? I'm here for you if you need me. And I learned from my psychology professor, she also said, I don't know what to say at this moment. And she's talking more about grief counseling.
Yeah.
That's also an honest answer. I don't know what to say at this point.
Well, and I mean, cancer sucks and I'm sorry this is happening to you.
Yeah. Is that a good statement?
Unless it's a lie. If the person you're talking to would be offended by the word sucks, then don't say that. Just acknowledge this is hard. This is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry that this is happening to you because I would not ever wish for something like this to happen to you. And here you are anyway. So I'll be here with you. I did about 4 dozen interviews of other survivors and primary caretakers in the process of developing my materials. So I could have a broader range of experience, right? Because everyone's experience is different. There were some common threads among many of them. And a lot of people were talking about people who went through chemo. Chemo just wrecks your body. There were quite a few who said, I really wanted to have company and I really didn't have the energy to have a conversation. People, for some could and for some couldn't, just come over and hang out without talking. Some people would come over and bring a movie. One woman said, people brought me coloring books, but no one offered to sit and color with me. Until you hear somebody say that or something like that, you wouldn't think about offering to sit and color with. You're bringing something for them to do because they're sitting there and they can't do anything. Hey, here's something for you to do, but you don't need something to do now because I'm here and we'll have a conversation. And then somebody else whose husband was so young said that there were people who would bring coloring books and just sit and color. Like coloring books came up a lot. Then that's what they would do. And so then the patient doesn't have to be by himself, but also doesn't have to do the work of maintaining a conversation. Movies came up, listening to music or to podcasts or to books, just in the same room. Maybe you'll say something every now and then when something strikes you, but it's not a conversation. That came up a lot for people who were recovering from surgery or were going through chemo.
This is amazing. And the presence with a person is just the most important, to be there and then ask the question, do you want to talk or should we just stop talking or looking out of the window, depending where you are?
And it's also okay if you want to help with tangible things, ask their caretaker what they need. A lot of people will not accept help or will not ever call you. Say, call me if you need anything. They're not going to call you. Would you call somebody if they're like, yeah, call me if you need anything? For most people, the answer is no, I'm not going to call. You could talk to the primary care person or other people close in their orbit and see if they know what would be helpful. If they have children, offer to help with the children because everybody with children needs help with the children, whether they have cancer or not. Or they have dogs, walk the dogs. It depends on your level of closeness, how intimately woven into their life. There are some people who I'm coming over and I'm doing your laundry. And there are some people who I do not know well enough to say I'm coming over and doing your laundry so we can clean. What day is good?
Okay, come on over to my house. Now for the listeners, you have created cancer cards. So that was based on those discussions that you had with those people. Tell us more and where can we find them and how can we support you in this venture?
The cancer cards, it's a deck of cards that shows 20 scenarios. They're basically the greatest hits of all of these conversations that I had. Things that came up repeatedly. Too many people were told they had the good cancer. That's not a good thing to say. You shouldn't say that. On one of the cards on one side, there's a little illustration. They're illustrated with real simple stick figure-ish drawings where there's a patient and a visitor, and the visitor's like, you got the good cancer. If you flip that card over, it will offer you something to say instead that will feel better to the person who you're saying it to. Mm-hmm. And at the bottom, there's maybe a sentence that explains why. If it's not immediately obvious, why would I not say that? There's a little explanation. That's the deck. It also comes as an app available on Apple and Google. And in both places, it's the cancer cards. I have a TED-style talk where I just share some anecdotes and talk about some of the nuance of all this in a way that you can't capture in the cards. Mm-hmm. For people who I want to get better at this and I don't know how to get better at this, I have a workshop that's very hands-on because interacting with people is a skill. Interacting in an uncomfortable situation is a skill, and you can learn the skill. So I built a workshop to teach the skill and to give people lots of time and opportunity to practice it in a very safe, controlled space. It doesn't matter if you mess up because you're not actually talking to your dying aunt. You're talking to Joe Schmo who happens to be at your table, and work on it that way. They can be used independently. They can be used in any combination and have been really well received so far. The website is cancer.cards.
Cancer.cards.
Yeah.
And before we recorded, and the last time we met on our Impresario sprint, I saw all your medals. Obviously, I'm also interested in the sports. Tell us about the sport and what you're doing and what you're providing. What are the parallels here?
Well, I do foot races and I've done some triathlon. They're great fun. I do short ones. My husband has done marathons and Ironmans. I do 5Ks and 10Ks and sprint triathlons. The parallels that I see between them is just knowledge and skills. That if you plucked somebody off the street and dropped them on a triathlon course and they were not already triathletes, they would not know what to do. They wouldn't know where to go. They wouldn't get to where they were trying to go very well. Even if someone was like, well, go over there, it's not going to go well. So before I did my first try, besides the physical training of the swimming, the biking, the running, I had a mentor. We had workshops on various aspects of racing and all of the stuff. And nobody thinks twice about that sort of mentorship. Nobody thinks that all of the people who were in those things are stupid for needing a mentor or not just knowing what to do. We don't expect anybody to just know. But we seem to have that expectation for interpersonal interactions. And if you haven't seen it modeled, you don't know. How would you know? The vast majority of people that I know personally did not see it modeled. And we say things that we've heard other people say. Everything is going to be fine. No, you don't know that. You don't know that everything is going to be fine. But that's one of the things that was modeled for me, that's what you say to someone when they're going through something hard. Oh, everything's going to be fine.
You're a strong person. You can do it.
Yes,
right?
Yes. And these things that people say dismiss the difficulty that the person is experiencing right now. Because even if it's going to be fine, it's not fine right now. We need to acknowledge that right now it's not fine. And that lets the person feel validated and feel seen and feel less isolated. Because if you're going through hell and everyone around you is like, it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine, it's very isolating.
And can you say as a cancer patient, I need to be alone now? Like everybody is giving you like advice and you're like, I don't need to hear this. I think that's also, it's not so easy, right? So you feel like everybody wants to help you, but it doesn't help you.
Right. And then you feel obligated to pretend that it's helpful so that you don't hurt their feelings, even though they're already hurting your feelings. And it's this whole convoluted mess of terribleness. I did talk to 2 people who didn't tell anybody about their cancer diagnosis because they didn't want to deal with people.
And how did that go? Then it sounds like they're so alone going through that journey. It's almost like doing a marathon or an Ironman on your own. You need the support from the people.
The one person told his wife, and his wife was actually who I spoke to, and she's like, I was forbidden to tell anyone. So they were both trapped in this little cancer closet.
Cocoon, yeah.
Yeah. And like he kept going to work and doing the things and it was fine, quotes. But she said it was terrible. She had no release for any of the feelings. The bad things, the anxious things, the good things when it was going, like nothing.
That's hard. Because
Yeah,
sometimes also
hard.
the support person needs support more so than the cancer patient who is well taken care of by the medical team.
Yes, the primary caregiver needs help. One of the ways to help the patient is to help the primary caregiver, like take some of the mundane day-to-day crap off their plate. They have more room to breathe and then more energy to take care of the patient. Yeah.
Wow. This is such a great learning. I hope the listeners have more questions for you. So we have all the information in the show note. And I'm always curious. So we talked about triathlon, but also the cancer card. How do you rejuvenate and recharge your batteries now that you're giving so much? I know you're a teacher, a photographer, a writer, podcaster. Is there anything else that you add onto your busy schedule, it seems like?
I've taken to trail running recently. Less triathlon, less road races, and more trails. So there's a lot of places to go local to me, and it's beautiful.
Now the impresario question at the end. What is your plan for impresario?
My impresario thing, I need to figure out. I haven't figured out yet. But to build something locally for the caregivers, for the support people to go to. Because the patients have places to go, and the patients have support groups, and the patients have lots of attention, at least at the beginning. The caretakers, not always. I haven't figured out yet what that looks like. That's what I'm working on.
Okay. We're waiting. And I'm sure some of the listeners are waiting. Thank you so much. And also thank you so much for the great work you're doing for others who are going through a difficult time. And we all need to learn how to take care of others, but also of ourselves.
Yes. Thank you for having me. This is so lovely.
Wow. What are you taking away from this conversation? It's about asking the question. It's about being present with the other person. Take it from the Ironwoman. We have episodes every Monday. Come and join us, learn with us, grow with us, and also learn about topics that are not everyday topics. So we can learn how to ask the right question or be that person to support the other person. And Take It from the Ironwoman is also the book Global Business Coaching with Sports Parallels. Download it or get it in your local bookstore. And also subscribe and like this podcast on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast. Thank you for your support. We'll have more episodes for you. Until next time, bye-bye.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.